Hi, my name is Steve McMahon from Klevu, and welcome to our 2021 Black Friday and Cyber Monday Teardown. With me, I've got some special guests from our industry: Andrew Waite, founder and managing director of Convert Digital; Nathan Crouch, managing partner of Periscope; Maaike Hunter, general manager at Pocket Square; and Petah Marian, founder at The Future Narrative. So we're here to tear down Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I know everyone here is still crunching numbers for the different merchants or clients that they represent, but I thought I'd kick off with Andrew just to see how things performed, or what were you expecting, how did they perform, and what key observations did you make?
All right, so Andrew Waite, managing director and founder of Convert Digital. So we're an e-commerce development agency, work with over 100 merchants in the APAC region. I guess historically, one of the biggest issues we've had was probably preparation around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. One of our key observations this year was that everyone came well and truly prepared as far as their technology stack was concerned. Historically, issues that we saw over Black Friday, Cyber Monday were largely due to over complexity and necessarily running things that weren't going to perform when the day finally came. I think simplifying these things this year has been a huge part of that, including offers that have been much more marketable and clear to the consumer. We've also seen a number of people kick things off fair bit earlier than previously. We had one of our merchants, Swan-Dry, based over in NZ. They kicked off their sale on Wednesday, had the largest day they've ever had, and then managed to repeat that on the Friday.
Brilliant. Thank you, Andrew. And Nathan, I did see some stats from Klarna this morning that they had about a 300% year-on-year, saw a 300% increase in sales volume. Speaking with you this morning, you said you've hardly seen your kids for the last 6 weeks. In preparation, Periscope is a performance agency focused on e-commerce, but how did everything go?
Well, the Klarna is interesting because their market penetration is probably up more than 200% year on year. So I don't know that's a nice thing to throw away, but I don't think it's that, it's nice to say. But we had, every year, I think we've been running for like 5 years, and every year we've gotten a bit better, and that 6 weeks prior to it, and the busyness there has been the thing. Preparation has been key. We've been really fortunate. We don't really have any fires to put out this time. What we've seen is every year, like it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because everyone sees competitors go early. Your own data says go early, but you're speaking to your own customers. So that's been really interesting. Is everyone went so early this year. The whole fortnight's almost lost its meaning in terms of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You had Click Frenzy coming into that. It's been like 4 weeks of just terrible margin, but good volume coming through, On top of that, there's COVID making year on years a bit different. There's a lot of complexity and that sort of stuff. We've been not fortunate, but most of our clients have had a really good time of it. We've seen record days, record hours, record conversion rates. Most of our clients have been quite happy with how it's run. How that washes out in terms of new customer acquisition, I think is the key for this period. There's no point pulling your pants down on price and margin if you're not getting new customers. So I think the data's still to come in on that. But from a top level, gross revenue and margin looks okay, but not ideal. For most of our customers, they've had a pretty good time, but the only thing we're really worried about, what does that mean moving? Have you just attracted rubbish customers now who only want sales and discounts? How many of those will repeat purchase and get us through Jan, Feb? We've got a 12 or a 16-week repurchase cycle. I think we don't know how good it was. A lot of our customers are happy with terms of revenue and ROAS and those sorts of things, but I don't think you want to do so much effort and discount so much without getting incremental sales, not just talking to the same audience. So top line numbers look good. I'll be interested to see how much turns out into repeat new customers in Jan, Feb.
And Nathan, just quickly, I know a number of the brands that you partner also have a large offline presence. I've noticed increasingly that Black Friday has crept offline. So has that detracted from online sales?
Hard to say. We don't see too much of that actual sales data from in store. Anecdotally, it's greater than the sum of its parts. So everyone feels like combine that sales, having consistent messaging. It's hard because it's another weird year where people are just excited to be out and about. So yeah, I think everyone's been happy. I think having consistent message, and you walk through a mall. I haven't been to one, but I've heard that like everyone's got Black Friday. Like all the stores have just gone gnarly with it. When bricks and mortar used to sort of resist that Cyber and Black Friday week and stuff a little bit. So I think everyone's sort of happy, but like I said, new customers and another weird year where if the conversion behaviour is going to be consistent, and comping year on year next year will be really interesting for sure.
Awesome. Maaike, so Pocket Square is a Shopify Plus agency. You're typically working with enterprise size brands. I saw some stats out of Shopify this morning that there was almost $3 billion in sales on Black Friday between when it kicked off in New Zealand and ended in California. But speaking with you over the last week, you guys as a development design strategy type agency, maybe focus on some other areas for the brands that you work with?
Yeah, I think I can definitely echo a lot of what Nathan said, especially in terms of trying to report apples to apples. As you know, we have lots of clients within New Zealand and Australia, and for the New Zealand clients specifically, we're only just coming in and out of lockdown periods, and the vast majority of our clients have a very heavy physical retail footprint. So although if I was giving it a really broad stroke, I would say the Black Friday sales look really great across our client base. We know that is taking away from their in-store traffic in some cases. So there was actually a lot of activity that we spread across both. I think what's probably a bit different about our activity, and has been more so the focus this year, is a really vast portion of the businesses that we work with have a strong eco product, sustainability, ethical fashion or ethical beauty, lifestyle branding, and that's very core to their values. So we don't actually have a lot of heavy discounting activity around Black Friday, but what we do see is that our brands really double down on their brand messaging around that. So you might have seen examples floating around of calling it Blue Friday, and for every purchase, it's not discounted, but they will give money to charity instead. And that's something we've seen across quite a few clients, and that's been really successful. So people have really embraced the fact that maybe that business isn't discounting, but there is a value add reason. They're doing free gift wrapping, or they're doing gift sets they wouldn't normally do, so you can cover loved ones throughout that kind of period leading up to Christmas. So we did see some really great results, and interestingly enough, regardless of whether there was a discount involved or not, we've seen really good traffic. I think, like Nathan said, it's just going to be coming out in the wash of what their in-store sales looks like and trying to see what the combined effort would be across those. We do sit strategically across retail broadly, so in with those store operations teams as well. The one thing I would definitely add to that, what you were saying, Nathan, about new customer acquisition, is with the email marketing specifically, yes, we saw great results from there. We also see a lot of unsubscribes in this period. So we're doing a bit of segmentation reporting at the moment. I can see Peter's laughing as well. We're doing a bit of segmentation reporting this week to see, of those customers that have unsubscribed, what kind of activity have they sat in the past, because that will be really crucial to understand that too. So yeah, we sit in a bit of an interesting period with the type of businesses that we specialize in. So, but overall, after a very fatiguing year for a lot of businesses, there have been some good results, and that loyalty piece, I know people say loyalty's dead, but we still see it really strongly with our businesses. So it's been a good month of activity.
That's great observations. Thank you, Maaike. And over to Peter. I know you've also seen some brands in that sustainability eco movement overseas, but then you made some observations to me offline about particularly in the UK, with the various disruptions of COVID, how did they approach Black Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Obviously, the UK they've just had their largest Black Friday, and some of the stuff that they've been really pushing, they had retailers like Pretty Little Thing pushing 100% discounts on certain products, which basically means that, if you buy one product, you get another for free. So it's a really interesting and mixed market, because obviously my background and focus is really on consumer desire and how that leads to, demand and what sort of things people want in the future. And, we're still in this really mixed kind of landscape where probably about pre-pandemic, really, we were seeing lots of brands shifting to that closing on Black Friday, lots of that, and that narrative becoming really strong and coming through really aggressively and really hopefully as well. And then obviously over the last 2 years, we've been in more of a situation where there's been a lot of excess stock and a lot of different kinds of movements taking place. So, it feels like in some respects, some of that activity is stalled, but maybe Maaike will suggest that I'm not as that maybe there is more happening. But there are other things happening as well. Like, IKEA did a nice thing, which was about the green store that they've got in their retail spaces as well. But I also think the other thing to discuss is like some of the stuff that was brought up around the difference between in-store and online. Like in the US, physical store traffic was down about 30% for Black Friday against pre-pandemic levels, so against 2019 levels. So really you're seeing huge shifts around the channels that people are choosing globally.
Great, thank you, Petah. Andrew, I was interested, you're partnering with more than 100 brands, clients. Did you see any particular verticals perform better than others or particular items?
Yeah, certainly fashion, was a hero for us. Interesting on the in-store stuff, though, some of our merchants are really starting to utilize some of the insights they gained through Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and now they're transitioning that data and segmenting it into in-store traffic. So we've had this continuation of Black Friday, Cyber Monday into this warehouse sale style environment. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see what sort of data we get out of this continuation of the sale. Like, it hasn't stopped, right? Like, it starts early in some capacity. Like, a lot of people are carrying it through for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, again, we haven't seen the end of it from our perspective. And certainly, some of the behavioral insights that people got through that period, I think, has been really good. But definitely fashion. But having said that, we do with a fair bit of homewares, and those guys obviously do really well. I think that those pre-Christmas sales, people are trying to get stuff in for stuff that they're going to be dishing out for Christmas gifts.
Great. And Nathan, you have the promotional calendars for all of the brands that you work with. Andrew references that the sales essentially won't stop, but what are your predictions over the next few weeks? Boxing Day sales, when will that kick off? When will be the next big peak? Are people going to be racing into Myer to buy a washing machine on New Year's Day?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Boxing Day is usually the biggest day for most of our clients, right, of the whole year. So we'll see. It's interesting this year because we've got, thank goodness, a bit of a break with shipping cutoff coming early. So one of the first years in my career, we've had a few days off before Christmas, which is great. I think, we're getting feedback from our clients, omni-channel as well as pure play, where they've hit November targets and everyone's feeling chuffed with that. But then we've only got half of December, really. And I don't know, there's been a lot of research and stuff around like the importance of gift cards this year because, stock hasn't arrived, shipping's an issue, all that sort of stuff. So gift cards, I don't think is going to be the saving grace, but I think for those from the 17th onwards, you've kind of got to put a bit of effort into that, see how you go. You'll see Boxing Day sales starting on the 19th and the 20th and those sorts of things, trying to bring some sales forward. But that stock and shipping issue is not going to go away magically in January either. So all those gift cards sit out there almost as an accounting problem if it goes too well. So I think it's going to keep being aggressive, to be honest. Our clients are kind of steering away from it a bit, but I think there'll be, depending on what happens too with the in-store stuff in those last 2 weeks, Boxing Day could be a real bloodbath when people are just chasing revenue before the end of the year. Hopefully, omnichannel stacks up and people get in-store and buy things, and we don't have to destroy margin on Boxing Day, but having half a month effectively of December to hit your online targets is somewhat of a challenge, I think, for a lot of people.
Good. And Mike, heading into the rest of the year, are you advising your brands on certain things, or how are you approaching it?
Yeah, I mean, the Boxing Day piece, like you said, it's always a massive day. So regardless of what the activity will look like, there'll be something for everyone, I think, on that Boxing Day piece. I will be very interested to see if there's how much appetite there is from the New Zealand perspective to go in store. Like I said, it's pretty fresh getting out and about at the moment, but I imagine there are people who have that desire and will go in store. So we're definitely seeing a lot of clients have activity that is omni-channel, like whether it's an offer or a gift with purchase or something along those lines. I think the big thing for our clients is, like Nathan said, they have to get the most out of the next 2 weeks. So gifting is the huge one for us. We have a lot of like high-end jewelry, a lot of beauty products, gift sets, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what we've been prepping for like 2 or 3 months though. So the gifting thing is largely in play, especially from a site perspective. I think with Boxing Day, we will see some clients, especially on our side, looking at that discount piece, but only really if they have the stock to move. Like that is the key. Like you said, Nathan, like we have clients who really don't have an appetite for doing much with it this year because they've been pulling out discounting during lockdown periods when they wouldn't usually do that. So they're trying to hold off if they don't need to and have had a successful time, at least online through November, December. But if there's stock to move and the focus is on volume rather than margin, then yes, I think we will see some of those Boxing Day sales come through. But I think from like a sales period in general, it is morphing into something more specific to each brand for us.
Thanks, Maaike. And we might finish with Petah. Future narrative, using trends and insights to help retailers shape the future, essentially. So what do you see the future of Black Friday, Cyber Monday?
I mean, it's really varied. It feels like it's becoming increasingly polarized. You'll see those sustainability-minded brands that will really take a stand against it. But then I think on the flip side, for brands that aren't able to or haven't managed their buying or understood sort of demand very well, you're going to see that continuation of extreme discounts. I mean, we are getting to a point though where, me as a consumer, and I'm sort of using myself as an example, around this period, I'm not going to pay full price for anything unless it's something that I absolutely can't get elsewhere. And I think, you're getting this consumer that's really habituated to discounts. And so you need to start creating that value add and that kind of sense of exclusivity and desire to pay full price for things again. So it's really about starting to create products that have more meaning and ensuring that people are really wanting to buy into them, because at the moment, it's just that kind of real commodification of every single purchase that we're making to get the maximum discount.
Thanks, Petah. So I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, everyone, for your contribution today. We'll be sharing this through various channels, but good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, guys.